Harry Kane does want an exit from Spurs, he will have to drive it. The onus will have to be on him. I think he knows very well what Manchester United and other big clubs around Europe, like Bayern Munich, think of him. They know his worth and his value, so price tag wouldn't put them off. It's the negotiation process that would, and he would need to smooth that.
Okay, so you're sort of talking about the fact that he's going nowhere in terms of the club themselves. That's this summer. Do you think he will stay out? I mean, I'm asking you to be a bit of Mystic Meg here, but do you think he'll stay there for the duration of his career?
Harry Kane himself has said that no decision's been made. So far, he's just focusing on getting to the end of the season. Now, we know that even in the current circumstances, that annihilation at Newcastle United, he was part of the senior players committee who, addressed Daniel Levy, spoke to the rest of the squad, talked about how they need to up the standards. So he's very much still invested in Tottenham and them finishing as well as possible. Now, I don't think Kane's desire to win silverware has dissipated at all. I think, if anything, it's enhanced, it's increased. But there is that inner battle between, going somewhere else and winning a trophy or having that legendary status at Tottenham. And I think Daniel Levy did a very smart thing recently. He hardly speaks, he hardly gives interviews, but he did one recently, a discussion at Cambridge, and he said, I still believe Harry Kane can win trophies at Tottenham, but sometimes it's more than that. It's about legacy, it's about being a legend. And I would like to see Harry Kane's statue outside our stadium one day. And you know what? That image, I think, is a very powerful one for Kane to imagine. So he wanted to get the season out of the way. There are growing concerns at Tottenham that he won't recommit his future to the club just because of the upheaval they've had. We must remember, in less than a month, they're already on their second interim charge manager, and there's been no movement in terms of that permanent appointment and the process. We look at Chelsea, you said the other club going through a period of turmoil. We can see what Chelsea are doing. The process has been quite out there for everyone to follow. That hasn't been the case with Tottenham, and that's a little bit worrying.
Just finally then, do you think the fact that he is going nowhere according to the club, will that be quite an attractive prospect for whoever might take over as the manager?
I think you can see that twofold. I think a manager coming in will look at the squad and want to reshape it. Selling Harry Kane would offer the funds to do that. And it also offers you to build a team in your image the way you see going forward. I think any manager would love the guarantee of goals that Kane brings. But if you're coming in with a long-term plan and you're thinking, how long can this club rely on Harry Kane? You might think it's not the worst thing in the world to rebuild and to have the funds to do that. But I think any manager coming in would like to have some clarity around what will happen there. And if indeed Kane does leave, whether, Spurs hold him and he leaves for free, then where is that next top forward coming from? Will they have the funds? As I understand it, at the moment, some of the managers that they've spoken to, that has been a key consideration. What is going to be our opportunities for investment into the squad and for overhauling it? I think the other thing Spurs have to do very well is sell well, which they haven't been able to do.